Hey everyone, I'm 17-year-old writer Noah Barfield, author of that absolutely amazing action fantasy novel Legendland, which obviously makes me very excited, but today is Writer's Corner. So, thank you for joining me today, or tomorrow, or whenever you happen enjoying me, because as long as you're not using my time, I really don't care. Now, recently, and by recently I mean since I finished Kickstarter, I basically proved to the world that I am actually serious about the whole writing thing, which is great. I mean, I didn't think I had to prove myself anyway, and now people are seeing it as a lifelong career that I want to pursue, but that's what I was saying in the beginning, but people no longer see it as just a hobby or something I want to do for fun. I don't get a lot of flack about it because people see it as an actual job that I am trying to do now, which is great. I mean, as a teen writer, being taken seriously is basically the dream, besides having money. Though this has made me internally deliberate over exactly what it means to be a writer. I mean, what does that even mean? Thus, I have decided writers are basically gods. Yeah. We have absolute power! And I know that may seem initially pretty arrogant, but I really don't care. Though I'll explain anyway. As writers, we can create and destroy characters, people, with impunity. We have absolute control over those characters, even though it may not feel like it all the time. The worlds that said characters inhabit, visit, see, etc., we can do it as we please. Create, destroy, alter, to whatever fashion we desire. People pay homage to our altars as writers by buying our books, giving us money to do what we love, and handing those books down through the generations, hopefully standing the test of time, and thus you're remembered far beyond your own mortal years. We have all this amazing, awesome, incredible writer power. We exercise it with basically very little physical effort at all. I mean, we can wake up and roll out of bed in our pajamas, not even fully awake, and we can just kill someone. Or create a world, level a mountain range. It really doesn't matter. Whatever we do in the book world, writers are basically gods, as long as we do it well. But to take a page from Uncle Ben's book with absolute power, with great power, comes great responsibility. And I do my best as a writer, and I encourage other writers to do so as well whenever I meet them, to write responsibly. Now, a couple questions may arise whenever I say that. For one, what does it mean to write responsibly? And two, even if I know what it means to write responsibly, why should I? As a writer, I write for me, right? As long as I enjoy whatever I write, then other people will enjoy it as well, and I really don't need to worry. No. No, 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 no. No. You do need to love what you write as a writer, but you need to keep your audience and those around you in mind as well to be responsible. Now, just to start with one of those parts, keeping the people around you in mind. What does that mean? Why should I do that? I mean, this is my book. I do what I want when I want because I want to do it with my book. And those around me should accept that. Just like if I was a construction worker and I was drilling away, people need to accept that I'm making noise. Well, you need to do your best to do it responsibly and respectfully. I mean, you need to not be one of those people who goes to a cafe to write, never buys anything, sucks up all the Wi-Fi, takes an entire table up to themselves in their writing gear, and subsequently asks everyone to be as quiet as possible because you need to concentrate, even though you've been playing Minesweeper for the last 10 minutes. I mean, who even plays Minesweeper? Don't be one of those people. Also, keep your readers in mind, not only while you're writing, but also while you're editing. You may think to yourself that unicorns seem absolutely in place in your space epic. They may, if you can write it in well. There needs to be no unnecessary in your book because it just drags. Okay, if you have unnecessary, it's kind of like dragging your feet through the book. You just want to skip it, and they might miss. Your readers might miss an important detail that you have hidden in the mess of unnecessary that is that one single chapter. So, keeping that in mind, try and keep out the unnecessary. I mean, that's a general writing tool. Like, if it's unnecessary, remove it. Characters, plot devices, what have you, even entire sections like unicorns. So that's one part of writing responsibly. Keep your audience in mind. Now, you don't have to specifically gear everything towards a specific audience. I mean, that's not really writing, because, I mean, writing is also for you. It's not just for your audience or for the people around you. I mean, you should love writing. It's what you want to do for the rest of your life, or at least as a career if you're thinking about being a writer at all. So, keeping that in mind, I mean, you have to make it for you as well. I mean, you have to put your passion into it, give it your all of that stuff that people will tell you at any writing class you ever visit. I don't need to repeat it, you know it already. But you need to keep your audience in mind. You don't need to write specifically for them, but it needs to be a combination of you and your audience. You may completely understand this plot line, but whenever you read it from an audience perspective, it might make absolutely zero sense. I discovered this while reading Legendland, and I think that's what happens sometimes whenever you just don't understand a book, is the author completely understands it, and then discredits anyone who doesn't as not understanding their genius. No, they just didn't write it properly. And you need to not make that same mistake, and so do I, because it's really difficult not to do. You inherently understand your story better than anyone else ever will, no matter what they say. Someone can dissect your story from top to bottom, point out things you didn't even realize about it, but at the end of the day, you created that thing. It's yours. You're going to understand it more than anyone else ever will, ever, and that's just a fact, and people have to understand that. But you also need, so keeping that in mind, you need to understand that not everyone, no one, is going to have that same understanding, so you have to spell some stuff out for people. I mean, you have to really draw that line between making it too clear and not letting the reader decide for themselves anything. It's a very difficult line to do, and part of writing responsibly is understanding that line. Whenever you have to treat your readers not like children, as people who can make their own decisions and are intelligent, but you also can't hide everything within layers of ambiguity, so it takes a sleuth of only your writing caliber to understand. That's a huge part of writing responsibly, and to be able to do that just comes with experience. Now, another part, which is just common sense, but you'd be surprised, is to use proper syntax, grammar, punctuation. Make it as easy on those editors as possible, because they are part of the process, and without them, your book is not going to be as good as it could be. Ever. Not even a little bit, which is unfortunate. But you have to keep other people in mind when you write. It's just how it is. So don't be E.E. Cummings. Just use proper syntax. Don't try and think everyone is Sherlock Holmes. Spell some stuff out, but leave things to ambiguity. And don't be every other public writer ever and make everyone's day difficult at a cafe. Just don't do it, please. Write responsibly. And with great power comes great responsibility. So please exercise that. Thank you for watching. I hope I have at least imparted upon you how important it is to write responsibly, because it is incredibly important. So, thank you for watching. Please continue to watch my videos. Let me know what you thought. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, well, again, thank you for watching and continue to enjoy.